Stavros Halkias' Fat Rascal is a very funny stand-up comedy special currently available on Netflix that came out in November, maybe December of 2023. I think December, actually. It's his second stand-up special, if I'm not mistaken. I actually have to go back and watch the first one because I haven't, but I'll circle back to that in a second. The official synopsis on Netflix is that comedian Stavros Halkias cheerfully skewers tech culture, air travel, sex, breakups, and himself in this raunchy and riotously acerbic stand-up special. Full disclosure on Stavros, I was a Stavros hater, and I'll admit it was just me being a hypocritical piece of shit because I hadn't seen any of his anything before. I just saw that he started popping up in my feed, and I saw him making rounds on podcasts that I normally listen to, and he just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. Again, completely piece of shit take and thought from me, especially literally not even seeing any of his content. It was just an initial knee-jerk reaction. And I was just like, I'm not going to listen to this episode, or I'm not going to watch this clip with this guy that is going around. But then enough podcast episodes and enough clips came up, and I was like, let me see who this guy is, at least. Instead of just negatively judging him for absolutely no reason. And he's fucking hilarious. He has one of the most contagious laughs as well, which is great. Just when somebody has a contagious laugh, that their laugh makes you laugh. And I listen to and watch Stavros World all the time, which is his podcast now, and have since gone back to watch episodes of other podcasts that he was on that I watch or listen to, and just think he's great. So Stavi, apologies in advance for having that completely unprovoked, just a negative reaction towards you for what it's worth. And you know what's dope about Stavros World, the podcast? He has callers call in and leave voicemails with questions and just advice that they want from him. And it's both hilarious because people call in with things. I heard one the other day that was a clip of one where a guy is married to a girl who has 3 kids from an ex, and that ex stayed cool with that girl's mom and is now banging and dating the mom. So it's fucked up scenarios like that. And not just things like that, also people calling for relationship advice and life advice and stuff like that. And they're funny and he has funny takes, but he also gives excellent life coach level advice to these folks, which is an interesting juxtaposition that I appreciate. But yeah, a couple of my favorite bits from this special, again, Fat Rascal, available on Netflix, was one where he says that he's Greek, so he's, as if you couldn't tell from his name, Stavros Halkias, where he says that Greeks are more Arab than white, but that folks consider them white because just whites in general wanted to pad their white resume with, democracy and philosophy. They're not, fuck you Arabs, we're keeping that. we're only owning those guys. We claim them. It's just a funny premise, funny bit. He has a really good long airline bit, which is really good. And I loved, probably my favorite bit of the whole special was his take on Neuralink and Elon Musk in general, but mainly Neuralink, which I've spoken about in the past here in the podcast. But if you don't know, Neuralink is one of Elon's endeavors, one of his companies, where the goal is to have chips, computer chips, implanted in your brain. And the idea is to start with paraplegics or people that are paralyzed and use that technology to bridge the communication gap that's happening between your brain and your spine and your limbs that's not allowing you to walk anymore. And people that are blind, that aren't able to see anymore. And through this type of technology, being able to repair those types of physiological issues. But also, down the line, the thought of Neuralink is that it's kind of like having the internet in your head. So you can Google shit in your mind type of thing. Very Black Mirror-ish. But it's literally a real company that exists that is endeavoring to do this and has shown and had test subjects in pigs and monkeys, and they actually featured it, I believe, almost certain I featured it as a video of the week in my free newsletter, which you all can subscribe to absolutely for free at spuntoday.com/subscribe, where I put out cool curated content like that. Interesting stuff. But yeah, they show videos of how this technology works and eventually how it'll be adopted to humans, so on and so forth. But Stavros' take, which is a very unique, very interesting, and very plausible take, is that no tech company is going to create some shit Neuralink, and I'm paraphrasing, by the way. Hopefully I don't butcher this. But he says that no tech company is going to create something like Neuralink and just give everybody the ability to know everything that exists in the world by, Google searching shit in your head and making people super smart and, bettering humanity. He was what a tech company would do, and what they're more likely to do, is just to get in your brain and start putting your own memories behind the paywall and say, hey, you want to remember that hug from your dad? Deposit 99 cents here. Or do you want to remember that time that girl, Sarah, jacked you off in the back of the school bus when you guys were going on that class trip? Sorry, you can't access that memory because you're currently not enrolled in our platinum level memory program. He was like, please enter your debit card. Or you get ads in the middle of you thinking back on something and trying to remember something with your mom, and it's saying, this memory is brought to you by Burger King. Fucking hilarious, man. And it's so true, right? You could think of corporate greed mixed in with that type of technology and ability in the hands of the wrong person. I could definitely see it going in that direction. And it was just hilarious. But yeah, like I said, something I still need to do is go back and watch Stavi's first special, which is also available now and free on YouTube. I think it was from last year. But this one, I definitely highly recommend.